What's up, my Blazing Knights? It's me, Blazeix, and welcome back to Blazeix Reacts. Today, we're gonna be reacting to Giving Future Aliens Ultimate Forms. Without further ado, let's get into the reaction. Wanna go check out the InkTank channel? The link will be down below. Wanna go check out the original video stuff? Above. I gotta go check it out. Let's jump right in. Without further ado, Blazeix Reacts. Let's blaze into action. Here we go.
Good evening, Internet World and Universe. This is O.R.Ash, and welcome back to the Drawing Matrix. We are back once again to continue our Ultimates Overhauled series.
Woohoo!
Last time, we went back and redesigned all of the OG canon Ultimates. Finally,
And they were all
polishing off
fire.
the first of the UAF playlists.
Wait, what about...
I said what I said.
He said what he said. I'm not about to argue with it.
Back from the UAF playlists. Today, we are covering the aliens introduced in the franchise's first flash-forward feature, Ben 10,000. Not only
That was a cool episode.
Buzzshock and Spitter, but
Oh, yes!
5 aliens per video, and they were at least mentioned. We are also going to be covering Toepick and Atomix. I'm really glad I get to knock some Omniverse boys off the list early. So, let us begin.
And considering that Spitter was never used in Omniverse, thank you.
Starting off, we have the Blizzard Lizard who likes to get slizzard, Arctiguana. Arctiguana already has an existing ultimate in Omniverse, so he's getting the redesign treatment today. In the show, his additional abilities included a major physical buff and a pair of twin ice cannons, which were pretty cool. But for some reason, they also just kind of dropped a huge glacier on his back for reasons, I guess?
There was no
Looking
reason.
like the result of a Blastoise and a Bergmite in a daycare for too long. Thanks to his very short amount of screen time, we never actually get to see if the Bat Glacier gave him some kind of power advantage or not. I wanted to give it a purpose, and I thought that we could chisel away at that glacier and turn it into a means of ice armor, shaping it into a similar silhouette as his back fin spikes. This gives him a defense buff, and with his ice and scales, this slippery lizard can easily become a frosty battering ram. To change up his ice cannons a little bit, I wanted to make them feel a bit more like they were actually part of his body, so I combined them both into one large tail cannon, inspired by fat-tailed geckos. He can now use this cannon to not only fire ice beams and constructs, but also use it to propel himself when slipping and sliding around. I wanted to keep his physical buff up, but rather than making him like big, strong lizard man, I made him very chunky and gave him thick defensive blubber. This ultimate is essentially a rhino lizard walrus that lives in the tundra. So,
That's
to recap,
hilarious.
for his reworked abilities, he now has strong ice armor.
But what's
that
his
acts like a
drawback?
battering ram. His cannons are now one large tail cannon, and he is very defensively thick. As far as trade-offs, because of his new very heavy anatomy, I'd say he loses his wall sticking, purely because I don't know if he'd be able to support the weight. Other than that, may I
That
present
makes
my
sense.
redesign of Ultimate Arctiguana that I dub Bergdozer.
Ultimate Arctiguana.
Oh, that's killer.
Next up, we have the itty-bitty battery boy, Buzzshock. Buzzshock is
I love Buzzshock.
very versatile alien, not only possessing electrokinesis, but levitation, duplication, tech possession, and wire transferation. It's a word I
It's
made up.
such a cool
The only
alien.
aspect of him that I thought really needed an evolutionary improvement is his actual physical limitations. He is a somewhat small boy that is not very strong nor durable, and he can be taken down with non-conductive materials pretty easily. To fix that, I am going against my own organic lifeform design limitations and hatred of drawing robots, and going to be making his body primarily composed of metal. His new metallic body means
Actually,
that
it makes
he can
sense
take
considering
much
he's
more
based off of a
load
battery.
and make him a lot harder to contain. You can't trap him in a light bulb if he can just shatter the glass with a metallic punch. To add on to his metallic body, I am also going to be giving him ferrokinesis, the ability to manipulate metal. He uses this to be able to add more metallic mass to his body and even create duplicates. Those duplicates can also swarm together into one larger combined construct. For
Oh, that's
overall,
fire!
I based him both on the classic cartoony trope of a lit-up skeleton from when someone gets shocked, and the electric gremlin from Gremlins 2. You can't cut it, Rob, it's relevant to the video. As far as his colors, I just pulled those straight off of the 10,000 volt ghost from Scooby-Doo 2 Monsters Unleashed. Anyway, to recap, recap, his new abilities include a new defensive metallic body, ferrokinesis, and his lightning swarm. That's what I'm calling them. As far as his trade-offs, he now requires metallic material to duplicate. Also, he can't do his, what I call it, wired transferation. Other than that, may I present my take on an ultimate buzz shock that I dub Twisted Transistor.
Ultimate buzz shock.
That's so cool. I love it.
What do you call that rudder one? Loogie man? Spinner?
Next up, we are looking at the alien that inadvertently became the kind of wallflower to Ben's arsenal, and that is Spitter. He has a combined total of about 12 seconds of screen time throughout the entire franchise. We know that he spits, and that he can puff up to do said spitting, and that's about it. And I think that's perfectly
It's
fine.
sad.
I wanted to keep his simplistic
It's sad that we
vibe
never get to
intact.
see him again.
I still want it to feel like Spitter and not stray too far away from his original vibe, you know? I'm using vibe too much. Rob, cut the vibe.
Whatever you say, man.
The main thing I wanted to do with this design was lean him a bit more toward aquatic. He looks almost amphibious normally, and having a high-pressure spitting habit could be used for propulsion in an oceanic environment. With that in mind, the first thing I did was add a bunch of spit nozzles all around his body.
Let me guess,
so
you're
that
taking
he can
away his
pull in
legs.
And expectorate water and bile to jettison himself around in any direction he wants. The overall visual inspiration for this was those old school sea mines with their plungers stuck out. His
Oh my gosh,
species
that's
is literally
so
called spheroid,
aesthetically
so he is an
pleasing to look
orb,
at.
and that is an orb, so it works. I also turned his legs and arms both into long, fin-like appendages. One, because I thought this would help with his underwater mobility immensely, and two, I wanted more limbs for my bucket. Yum yum. He can flip over and support himself with like the blasts of spit. You know, like those weird water jetpack things. Anyway, to recap, his new abilities include spit nozzles placed pointing all around for 360-degree coverage, and he uses these for attacking, mobility, and to make pressurized bile bubbles. I want to add a little bit of the explosiveness of the sea mines, so he got bile bombs now, yeah. As far as his trade-offs, his legs are going in my bucket. Other than that, may I present my take on an ultimate spitter that I dub Spit Valve.
Ultimate spinner.
Next up, we have possibly the most incorrectly anticipated alien of the franchise, and that is Toepick. I did have two concepts for this ultimate, but I had to cut one for time, so we may possibly revisit Toepick in a later episode. I wanted to make him a lot more scary. His powers are based on fear, or rather just extreme dysmorphobia, but I wanted to lean in and make him a lot more freaky. You know, rather than him looking like a preteen Shrek that got a bit too much into Tokyo Ghoul. I wanted to work with elements of body horror and abstract supernatural figure fear. You know, something like Slender Man or Siren Head. Something vaguely human-shaped, but with something just a little bit off about it. With this evolution, he could never get his helmet off, so over time, it becomes integrated into his body to eventually benefit his powers. I based his new helmet on a lighthouse. I just really like the silhouette. It looks kinda creepy and cool looking. And thanks to this new helmet, his new ability has a high vantage point and can be fired from a full 360 degrees. Before, people would freeze in fear at the sight of his face, but now, if his gaze falls upon you, you are literally frozen. Physically paralyzed. Not in
Frozen
fear,
in
but
fear! Oh, that's a
in
dope
stone.
power!
It's a literal Medusa beam. To add in just a dash of body horror, you know the little nubs that are on his like forearm section? Yeah, those can now extend into long tendrils. He uses them to carry around the little statues of people that he makes. Fun. Also, because his head is still covered with the helmet and he needs to eat, I moved his mouth to his hands. From these, he can emit a thick, terrible smelling fog. To recap, as far as his new abilities,
Oh my
he
gosh, I
has a
love it.
Medusa beam that can encase things in stone, a full 360 vision, a twisted anatomy of prehensile tendrils, and to help sell the terrifying monster angle, he is now massive. I'd say somewhere like, I don't know, 18 feet tall. As far as his trade-offs, because his anatomy is so twisted, he is very uncomfortable.
That boy taller
all
than
the time.
Katakuri.
Like, it borderline hurts for Ben to be in this form. Other than that, may I present my take on an ultimate Toepick that I dub Fright House.
Oh, that's so creepy.
Try a little fusion cuisine, catered by Atomic.
I really hope he
Last
keeps his
up today,
legs.
We have the man made of lava lamps, atomix. Now, as many people know, I am not the biggest fan of atomix. Atomix, however, takes the cake due to his very non-organic design. Dude just kind of looks like a robot. Plus the fact that his power set is very similar to that of Energy. But I digress with my complaints. We have a whole other old video comparing them. Go check it out. It inspired and beyond. Anyway, similar to Energy, I am convinced that he is just an energy being in a shell. I reshaped and cracked open sections of his white suit to provide escape for his energy. His head is now a billowing smokestack inspired by the towers of a nuclear power plant, and his containment jars from his arms are gone, releasing the atomic plasma that makes up his body. Due to the fluctuating atomic structure of this plasma, he can shift and twist his arms into different shapes and sizes, giving him minor shape-shifting abilities.
So
As
like
far as
heat
his
blast.
additional new abilities,
Like a heat blast
with
ultimate.
direct physical contact, he can now break things down to their base elements by severing their atomic bonds with a move that he calls Split Fission. He can also take this
Is this
move
like
even
Firestorm's
further
ability?
by breaking them down into pure individual atoms and then absorbing them into himself. That special iteration I dub Fission Roast. Rather than resembling the Omnitrix, his new chest plate is shaped like a radiation symbol. That, along with his new color scheme, is meant to serve as a visual warning. With his new abundance of energy, this dude is radiation hot to the highest degree all of the time. Anything within like 100 feet will be radiated almost instantly. To recap, as far as
so
his new abilities,
cool.
he now has some minor shape-shifting, as well as a new move called Fission Split that can break things down into their base elements, as well as Fission Roast that atomizes materials for his absorption. As far as his trade-offs, to put it simply, he loses his radiokinesis. That's the thing that controls his level of radiation. Other than that, may I present my take on an ultimate atomics that I dub Oppenhammer.
Ultimate Atomics.
Oh, Ultimate Atomics, you are beautiful.
And that is all for the
You
flash
are
forward and
beautiful.
future mention aliens. Well, there are 3 more mentions, but I need to design their base forms before I can actually make ultimates for them, so, you know, possible future video. Wink.
Dude,
if
take
you want
your
to see
time.
more videos like this and help support us, consider joining our Patreon, and you can get a bunch of exclusive sneak peeks and behind-the-scenes content on all of our current project productions.
Dude, I
5
love
years later
Atomics'
motion
video.
comic, our animated series
Ultimate
and beyond,
is
and
so
a couple other
cool.
things we got cooking up. Other than that, thank you guys so much for watching, and as always, I am O.R.Ash, and I'm surviving. Are you? Peace.
Oh, Ultimate Atomics, you are beautiful. Oh, you are the best thing I've seen today. Oh. But that ultimate toe pick, creepy as hell, and I love it. I think they all look good, but I think if I had to pick a favorite, it's between Ultimate Toe Pick or Ultimate Wavig wasn't in the video. Ultimate Atomics, because I already love Atomics. Giving an Ultimate just is over you. It's just overpowered as hell. He's just broken. Like, that's just insanely broken, if you ask me. But anyways, tell me what was your favorite Ultimate in this video down below. Anyways, I do hope you all enjoyed. Be sure to leave a like, enter your favorites, want to see more Scorching Hot videos from this channel, subscribe. I make videos weekly or daily depending on my schedule. Have any request for reaction whatsoever, leave a link to the video down below. Make sure it's something I'd be interested in, like Mario, Sonic, Ben 10, TMNT, or Pokemon, and I will definitely react to it. Our goal is to hit 10,000 subscribers, so help me reach that goal, and you will get a special video from yours truly. With that being said, I hope you all enjoy. Stay tuned for more videos, and remember, many hearts never apart. Learn about Blazing Knights, Blazeix, blazing out! Until next time, take care.